Thank you so much for all that you do for DoDEA. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate what you do for our military children. Happy Teachers Appreciation Week. Thank you.
Well, I think our teachers are the foundation of everything. And without them, we cannot survive. We can't do our job. And the most important thing is the relationship that they've built with our children. I can remember my first grade teacher, Mrs. Wells, Nellis Air Force Base, Las Vegas. I remember her for the relationship she developed with me and that I developed with her and my family. So it's all about relationships, and I know DoDEA families, they do a great job, an excellent job, an exemplary job working with our children and developing those relationships.
Well, I think it's a wonderful thing they do in support of the warfighter, and I can't think of a more sacred duty that they perform and taking care of the kids and providing them a sound education where our warfighters are overseas, protecting us all.
I would like to thank them for the service they provided to our kids, and indirectly also to me in working the Terra Nova. I'm responsible for testing, and the test is supposed to help the teachers help the children. But this is the opportunity to tell them that they have helped me a lot in administering this over the last couple of weeks and making it happen. And we have good data then for everybody involved.
Just thank you for your dedication, looking out for our students. Thank you.
I appreciate their steadfast commitment, their resilient spirit, and all of the intangible things they do that don't often get recognized, but somehow get done.
Well, I would like to thank teachers for all that they do. They work in hard circumstances and hard fields with kids that have gone through all kinds of life-altering circumstances. Our military children, I'm the parent of a military child, or 3 of my own children, actually, and I know that what they suffer when their parents deploy, and our teachers are the ones that stand in the gap, and they're the ones that reach out and care for them and take care of them, and it allows our military members to go off and feel like their kids are being cared for, and I think for that, you all are our heroes, and I'd like to thank you for that.
One thing I really appreciate about teachers is so many of them are willing to put in extra effort and go the extra mile for students, and that's one thing I always appreciated about some of my teachers.
Thank all of the teachers in DoDEA for what they do for our students and for our military families, and just to remind them how important that their job is to our community, and that especially to mathematics teachers, thanks so much for all the contributions you make.
I recently heard the Teacher of the Year. We were really fortunate to have her come speak to us. And she talked to teachers about being the dream holders of children. And I want to thank everybody, because you have the toughest job in the world, and that's taking the children's dreams and molding them, not just their dreams, allowing their dreams to come true, but also to mold them as our citizens and the future of our country. So I'm appreciative for all that you do and for advancing the dreams of all those kids.
I really would like to say that I had 2 children that went all the way through their educational career as DoDEA students, and the amount of time and interest that those teachers showed to my kids, it's heartbreaking when you think of how much time teachers spend with our children that we don't get to spend with our own children.
Well, I had 3 children that went to public school, but they benefited from being in an area with military children, and I have a granddaughter now who is in our preschools at Fort Benning and is already reading, and that is a wonderful testament to universal preschool.
Well, I went to middle school in Arlington County, and my 7th grade math teacher, Miss Lamiel, I remember her clear as yesterday, she always praised me as if I was the smartest math student she had, and that was so important. And in college in statistics, when I was struggling, I always remembered her. And last year I received an email from my middle school reunion that she was retiring, and I wrote her a note and thanked her. I want to say thank you to all the DoDEA teachers for all you do, and not just DoDEA, but all teachers, because they all make an impact in someone's lives, and we remember that, so thank you.
There are two teachers in particular in DoDEA I would like to thank. One is Tim Black in the Pacific. He's the AP Music Theory teacher. When I observe him teach his AP Music Theory to the students in his class, the students in Guam and the students in Korea, he had phenomenal instructional practices. He was able to recognize the students in Guam and Korea even though they weren't directly in front of him, and the students in his classroom. That takes a particular art to do that effectively, and he did it exceptionally well. Another teacher is a AP Calculus teacher. His name is Scott, and he too is in PAC. This particular teacher, when I spoke with him, my question to him was, how do you achieve academic success with students for AP Calculus on an ongoing basis? He said he constantly self-evaluates. When he teaches a lesson, let's say today, he's going to look at that lesson and think of ways in which he can teach it better next year. So he's already preparing with the end in mind. And I think because of that ongoing self-evaluation, he's able to achieve academic success with children. So I want to thank both of them for all what they do for our students in DoDEA.
Okay. Yes, I'm grateful for the teachers for giving me the education and inspiration to actually become a civil servant one day, to serve and to actually work for this agency. So thank you very much, teachers.
Well, first of all, I'm married to a teacher, 43 years. I know the extra effort that is put in, is particularly by our DoDEA teachers, all focused on one thing, making the children prepared for the next step in their life to be all they can be. Love our DoDEA world and the teachers there.
Oh, goodness. Well, I think the best thing a teacher taught me, and I didn't realize it at the time, was that I was in 6th grade, and I had this teacher. Her name was Odessa Thomas, and at the time I would have thought that she was just this towering woman, and she was probably around 50 to 60 years old, and I was probably doing something that I should have been doing, because I remember her looking down at me just as clear as day. I remember her looking down at me and saying, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I didn't know how powerful that was until probably, when I was an adult, maybe 10 years ago. And it just came back to me, and it stayed with me and stayed with me. And so thank you, Odessa Thomas, wherever you are.
I just want to say thanks for loving our kids and giving them a safe environment to go to, because it's not always safe where they're at. Their home environment may seem upside down with their parents gone sometimes. And it's very, very important to love our kids and just to give them the stability that they don't always have at home. So thank you for doing that and taking the time.
I really appreciate everything that teachers do, how they take care of kids and help families and parents to raise them and to give them, good values.
I think that the teacher profession is underrated, and they are the future of our nation, everything, and they should be given much more credit than they currently are given.
I just want to thank a couple of teachers at Wiesbaden High that helped my son Jeffrey immensely. That was Miss Carter, Mr. Shoup, and Coach Jewell. They took a special interest in my son, and because of that, he's now graduate. Well, I shouldn't say graduate. He's going into the Air Force, and totally changed his whole life. And they took a special interest in him, and I just want to thank them.